And the next time you come, you'll have the pleasure of meeting Rabbi Weinblatt, who is our senior founding, Stuart Weinblatt. And Israel is his second home, and it's in his heart. And he often talks to us about that love. And Canon Marshall Coppell has been here for 20 years too. He'll a young man, and he'll still be here even after you become members. So we are beginning on page 5, and that is with Shalom Aleichem. And I like to mix it up a little bit with some new and traditional melodies. So we are on the bottom of page 5, and I believe there's some transliteration on the left. We'll start with an uplifting melody. Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon, Mimelech Malchei Hamelachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu again. Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon, Mimelech Malchei Hamelachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu ay ay ay. Bochem l'shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon, mi melech malchei hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Line 5. Baruchuni l'shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon, mi melech malchei hamelachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Bottom lines. Tzedchem l'shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon, mi melech malchei hamelachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Tzedchem l'shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon, mi melech malchei hamelachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. And again, given our intimacy, please feel free to ask any questions. I am not a rabbi, I'm just an English teacher. So I'll give it a whirl. I can always make up an interesting answer. And now we are on page 11. Lechu neranen al Adonai, nariya l'tzor yishenu. Lechu neranen al Adonai, nariya l'tzor yishenu. Nikadma panav b'toda, bizmirot nariya lo, bizmirot nariya lo. Ki el gadol Adonai, Umelech Gadol al kol Elohim. Sounds like we need a new melody. Asher biyado mechakei aretz b'toafot harim lo. Asher lo hayam v'hu asahu v'yabeshet yadav yatzreu bo nishtachaveh v'nichra'a nevaracha lifnei Adonai osenu. We are on page 13 at the top, and here's where you definitely want to activate your tambourine. So, Shiru Ladonai means that we're singing to God, and it says Shir let's see, I happen to speak Hebrew, so I can translate. Shir Chadash is singing. Oh, look at that! It's on the left in English. No need for Diana to translate. Okay, so we're on page 13. Welcome, and thank you for joining us. And if you want a tambourine, feel free. Shiru Ladonai, Shir Chadash, Shiru Ladonai, Kol Haaretz, Shiru Ladonai, Baruch Shemo, Basru Miyom LeYom Yeshuato, Sapru Bagoyim Kevodo, Bechol Ha'amim Nifilotav. Ki gadol Adonai, ומהולל מאוד נוראו על כל אלוהים איי 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 כי כל אלוהי העמים אלילים ואדוני שמיים עשה. Last paragraph. הוד והדר לפניו עוז ותפארת במקדשו אבו לאדוני משפחות עמים אבו לאדוני כבוד ועוז אבו לאדוני כבוד שמו שאו מנחה ובנו בחצרותיו. Here it's easy now. Yalla la 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 yalla la 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 yalla la 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 yalla la yalla la yalla la 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 la. See, some words are easier than others. On 14 at the red arrow. Yismechu hashamayim, Yismechu hashamayim, Yismechu hashamayim, v'tagel haaretz. Here we go. Yeram hayam, Yeram hayam, Yeram hayam, umelo, Yeram hayam. Yeram hayam, Yeram hayam, umelo. Do we have a reader on page 14 at the red arrow on the left, the heavens? Any volunteers? Scott will be voluntold.
Voluntold. The heavens shall be glad and the earth rejoice. The sea is meadows and all that glow in them exalt. Even the trees of the forest shall sing praise as Adonai comes to judge the earth, judging lands with righteousness and people.
Thank you. I love that imagery. If we can absorb the image of the tree, this season of blooming and growing, and Adonai judging us, kind of intense. Page 20. We are at the red arrow. Romemu Adonai Eloheinu v'hishtachavu lehar kodsho. Romemu Adonai Eloheinu v'hishtachavu lehar kodsho. Ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu romemu. Oh, ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu romemu. And we have the imagery there on the left, God on the mountain. We are on page 21. And do we have another? Fabiana, would you like to read for us on page 21 on the left? And now we're on the right. Mizmor leDavid, havu l'Adonai b'nei Elim, havu l'Adonai kavod va'oz, havu l'Adonai kavod shemo, ishtachavu l'Adonai behadrat kodesh, kol Adonai al hamayim, el hakavod hirim. Adonai mayim al mayim rabim, kol Adonai ba'koach, kol Adonai be'adar, kol Adonai שובר ארזים, וישבר אדוני את ארזי הלבנון, וירקידם כמו עגל לבנון, וסיריון כמו בין רעמים. כל אדוני חוצב לבוטש, כל אדוני יכיל מדבר, יכיל אדוני מדבר קדש, כל אדוני יכול לעלות, ויחשוף יערות, ובהיכלו כולו מרכבות, כולו מרכבות. אדוני למבול ישב, וישב אדוני מלך לעולם, אדוני עוז לעמו ייתן, אדוני יברך את עמו בשלום. So before L'chadodi, I have to take a pause for a minute and ask, besides maybe my husband, does anybody else know and ask what anniversary of Israel is coming up? Israel is going to be this month, 75 years old. So Scott called me yesterday, and then I was and to see if I was available, and I was thinking, I happen to have an older daughter who's a rabbi, and she has an incredible ear for music, and she can just plug in any tune into anything. And I was thinking, I want to do something in honor of Israel's birthday, and in conjunction with L'chadodi melody. But I think we'll save singing Israel's birthday for the end and acknowledge it then. And we'll just do one of the traditional L'chadodi melodies. So, unless anyone has a particular preference for melody we should start with. We're open to all melodies. A regular one. Okay, we are on page 23. All right, we'll start with the regular one. L'chadodi likrat kala pnei Shabbat nekabela. L'chadodi likrat kala pnei Shabbat nekabela. Shamor v'zachor b'dibur echad, hishmi'anu el hamyuchad. Adonai echad u'shmo echad, l'shem ultiferet v'litila. L'chadodi likrat kala pnei Shabbat nekabela. Likrat Shabbat lechu v'necha, ki hi mekor haberacha, merosh mikedem nesukha, sof maaseh machshava tila. L'chadodi likrat kala pnei Shabbat nekabela. Mikdash melech ir melucha, kumitzeim mitoch hafecha. Rav lach shevet be'emek havacha, vehu yachamol alaychem la. L'chadodi, turn the page, likrat kala pnei Shabbat nekabela. Hitna ari me'afar kumi, livshi bigdei tifartecha mi. Al yad ben ishai beit halachmi, karva el nafshi ge'alat. New melody. L'chadodi likrat kalai alalai alalai alalai, b'nei Shabbat nekabela. L'chadodi likrat kalai alalai alalai alalai, b'nei Shabbat nekabela. Hitoreri, ki va'orech umiori, Uri, shir taperi, kevod Adonai alaich nigla. Hey, lecha dodi likra kala, yadadai, 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 ne Shabbat, ne kabela. Lecha dodi likra kala, yadadai, 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 ne Shabbat, ne kabela. Lo tevoshi velo tikami. מה תשתוכחי ומה תהמי, תכחסו עניי עמי, ונבנתה העיר על תילה. היי, לך דודי לקרא קלה, ידדי דדי דדי, בני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקרא קלה, ידדי ידדי ידדי, בני שבת נקבלה. New melody. Who has a melody idea? Okay, we'll go back to the original. V'hayu limshach shosayich v'rachaku kol mevalayich yasis alayich Elohayich kimsos chatan al kahala. Hey, adodi likra kala yalla 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 bnei Shabbat nekabela. Yamin usmol tifrotzi ve'et Adonai taritzi al yadi ben parzi v'nismecha v'nagila. Lecha dodi likrat kala b'nei Shabbat kabela. Lecha dodi likrat. Please stand. B'nei Shabbat nekabela. Boi b'shalom ateret bala gam b'simcha uv'tahala. Tachemune am segula. We bow. Boi kala, boi kala, lecha dodi likra kala b'nei Shabbat nekabela. Thank you for joining. We are up to page 27 for Mizmor Shir. And maybe we can have my husband, Dr. Evan, read on 27 English a bit.
Good to thank you, Adonai, and sing to your name. Love at daybreak, your faithfulness. Hear the lute,
Pluck the harp, let the sound of the lyre rise up.
You gladden me with your deeds, Adonai, and I shall sing.
How wonderful are your works, Adonai, how subtle your designs.
The arrogant do not understand, the fool does not comprehend this. The wicked flourish like grass, and every evil right forever.
You, Adonai, are exalted for all time. Thank you. On 27. Mizmor shir leyom haShabbat, tov lehodot la'Adonai, ulezamer l'shimcha elyon, ulesamer l'shimchat elyon, lehagid baboker chasdecha, ve'emunatcha baleilot, ale asor ve'aleina ve'ale higayom b'kinor. Mizmor shir leyom haShabbat, tov lehodot la'Adonai, ulezamer l'shimchat elyon, ulezamer l'shimchat elyon. We're on page 27 at the red arrow. Sorry, 28. Natikata amari frach ke'eres balvanon iske shetu Adonai bechatzrot Eloheinu yafrichu od yenuvun beseva Teshenim verananim yehiu lehakid ki ashar Adonai tzuri velo avalta That is actually the end of the Kabbalat Shabbat portion, which has not been around for thousands of years. It is a newer manifestation. And when the Rabbi is here, he likes us to take this moment to gather in our thoughts and to reflect on the week that has passed, that which we were blessed and perhaps unfortunate, and to set that aside as we open our minds and our hearts to a new week ahead, and we bow our head in silence for a few moments. Joining me. We are now on page 39A, and you are invited to stand for the Baruch 39A. Baruch et Adonai hamevorach, Baruch Adonai hamevorach, le'olam va'ed. You may be seated. Baruch et Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bidvaro ma'ariv aravim b'chokhmah poter sha'arim ובתבונה משנה את עיתים ומחליף את הזמנים ומסדר את הכוכבים במשמרותיהם ברקיע כרצונו בורא יום ולילה גולל אור מפני חושך וחושך מפני אור ומעביר יום ומביא לילה ומבדיל בין יום ובין לילה אדוני צבאות שמו חי וקיים תמיד ימלוך עלינו לעולם ועד ברוך אתה אדוני Hamarim Aravim. We're on page 40. Bottom red arrow. Nope, my apologies, the top. Ahavat olam beit Yisrael amcha ahavta Torah u'mitzvot, chukim u'mishpatim, otanu limadeta. Al ken Adonai Eloheinu, v'shachveinu v'kumeinu, nasiach bechukecha. V'nismach b'divrei Toratecha, ובמצוותיך לעולם ועד כי הם חיינו ואורך ימינו ואורך ימינו ובהם נגע יומם ולילה יומם ולילה ואהבתך אל תסיר ממנו לעולמים, ברוך אתה אדוני, אוהב עמו ישראל. We're on 41. ישראל, אדוני אלוהינו, אדוני אחד. ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודך והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך יום על לבבך ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך, לכתך בדרך, ושוכבך ובקומך, שרתם לאות על ידיך, היו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובישעריך. Please read the second paragraph silently. Bottom paragraph. Vayomer Adonai el Moshe lemor taper el b'nei Yisrael ve'amarta alehem v'asu lahem tzitzit al kanfei bigdeihem letoratam v'natnu al tzitzit hakanaf v'til techelet ve'alachem letzitzit uritem oto v'zchartem et kol mitzvot Adonai v'asitem otam v'lo taturu acharei levavchem ve'acharei nechem אשר תמזונים אחריהם, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם. Has anyone here, be it at their bar mitzvah or any other time, ever chanted Torah? Bar mitzvah counts. So, I have a secret. The Shema is actually a cheat sheet because the trope that you sing in the Shema, if you turn back to page 41, many of you probably already know how to sing the V'ahavta. Yep, sing some nods. So if you look, for those of us with older eyes like myself, glasses are helpful and whatever. But you see those extra markations both above and below? That is the same trope in the Torah. So, if you're thinking, I cannot read Torah, there's no way I'm going to relearn how, and I kind of memorized it anyway. That is the actual trope, the same trope that is actually not in the Torah, and you have to memorize it. That's the only bad part. But you know how to chant Torah if you can read this first paragraph of the Shema. Shh. That's our secret, a bonus for being here tonight. And now we are on page 44. ומלכותו ברצון קיבלו עליכם משה ומרים ובני ישראל לחנו שירה בשמחה רבה ואמרו כולם, middle paragraph, מי כמוך באלים אדוני, מי כמוך נדר בקודש, נורא תהילות עושה פלא. מלכותך ראו בניך בוקר ים לפני משה, זה ליאנו ואמרו אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד, ונאמר כי פדה אדוני את יעקב, גאלו מיד חזק ממנו, ברוך אתה אדוני גאל ישראל. 45. השכיבנו אדוני אלוהינו לשלום, והמיתנו מכנו לחיים. השכיבנו אדוני אלוהינו לשלום, והמיתנו מכנו לחיים. ופרוס עלינו סוכת שלומך, ותכננו בעצה טובה מלפניך, והושיענו למען שמך, והגן בעדנו. Red arrow. ושמור צאתנו ואוהנו לחיים ולשלום, מעתה ועד עולם. Tifros aleinu sukat shlomecha, Baruch atah Adonai, Hapores sukat shalom aleinu v'al kol amo Yisrael, ve'al Yerushalayim. We are at the Chatzik Hadish, page 46. V'shameru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם, ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ביני ובין בני ישראל אותי לעולם, אותי לעולם, ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. כי 6 ימים עשה אדוני, עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ, ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. וביום השביעי שבת ויהי נפש, שבת ויהי נפש, שבת ויהי נפש, ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. So we are about to go into the Amidah, which don't have a minion, so we may have to skip that. So when Scott asked if I would pitch in today, I was thinking, sure. And normally the rabbi gives a mini dvar on Friday night, and I didn't want to shortchange anybody, so I have a mini dvar for us. This week's parasha is Parasha Shmini. It is Leviticus, and the big idea to synopsize is all of the preparations for the sanctification of the altar, and basically this is where Moshe and his brother Aaron are bringing the sacrificial animals with very specific, meticulously instructed instructions. And so that is not what we're going to have a brief chat about. Parashat Shmini. We live in dramatic times, a barrage of shocking events from the pandemic to the assault on the Capitol, Supreme Court actions, and the incessant assault on innocent lives with unrestrained gunfire. This week's parasha gives us insight with possible reactions in the face of shock and tragedy. Aaron and Moshe followed God's instructions meticulously as they laid out burnt offerings in the nature and form that had been instructed. So explicit were these instructions that the manner of their approach, their state of mind, and the particulars of what and how to sacrifice were all delineated. Yet, we learn that Aaron's sons, Nadab and Abichai, somehow went astray from these specific commandments. They offered up a, quote, foreign fire. The consequence was immediate and dramatic. The sons were both engulfed in fire and were consumed. Different rabbis offer explanations as to the sons' divergence, be it their self-righteous attitude, they were waiting for their father and uncle to pass so that they could take the helm, their temerity or brazenness, or others look at it as their extreme modesty. But most exceptional wasn't their departure from these very explicit prescribed instructions. It was their father Aaron's reaction that gives us pause. Silence. Yes, in Leviticus chapter 10 it says, Vayidom Aharon, which means Aaron went silent. No reaction. Now, again, he just saw his sons incinerated. This reaction renders the readers speechless themselves. Aaron has just witnessed the death by fire of his two sons, and he is silent and without gesture. There are many interpretations of Aaron's reaction as well, including those rabbis who state that it was his allegiance to God, his faith in the divine, that begat his reaction. God must be right, and it is in his ultimate knowing. But I'd like to put forth that in our time, witnessing incomprehensible events, the stunned silence of Aaron can't be our standard bearer. It is our charge and obligation to speak up and give voice to the outrage that we are witnessing. Standing by in stunned silence in the face of unrelenting gun violence will not lead to the change that we are all yearning for. Prayers are important to support the families who are impacted, but tangible action must follow these supportive prayers, much like the legislators in Tennessee who stood up and demanded action and change. Aaron's reaction to his son's incineration speaks to his deep level of faith in God. This is irrefutable. But God also calls upon each of us to muster up our faith into action, much like the building of yeshivot in the diaspora after the Holocaust. Let us not be lulled into silence by the frequency of tragedy. Rather, let us redouble our efforts and take action, like those who rose up in the wake of the Holocaust and built institutions of Jewish learning to deny Hitler's claims. Shabbat shalom. So, Scott, we have to skip the Amidah, right? Because we don't have a minyan. And therefore, did anybody want to have any comment? All well. So, let us go to page 51. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. V'tov be'einecha levarech et Amcha Yisrael bechol et ubechol shah bishlomecha. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Tasim Leolam. Tasim Leolam. On page 52, after paragraph Aleph, before paragraph Bet, you see Oseh Shalom. Anybody beside me find that? Oseh Shalom bin Romav hu ya'aseh Shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'imeru amen. Oseh Shalom bin Romav hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu ve'akol Yisrael ve'imeru. Amen. Amen. We're on 53. I welcome if anybody else wants to do the top paragraph, I can do it with you. Vayichulu. Vayichulu hashamayim v'haaretz v'chol tzevam. Vayichal Elohim bayom hashvi'i melachto asher asa. Vayishbot Bayom hashvi'i mikol melachto asher asa. Vayivarech Elohim et yom hashvi'i. Vayikadesh oto. Ki bo Shabbat mikol melachto asher bara Elohim lasot. Bottom paragraph. Magen avot bidvaro, mechaye metim b'mamarom, mekadesh haShabbat, umvarech shevi, umeniach b'kedusha le'am kedushay oneg. Bottom line. Secher lemase bereshit. 54, Kaddish Shalem. Itkada v'itkada shemei Rabba, ve'amad divra kirute v'yamlich malchute, v'chayechon uv'yomechon uv'chayetecho beit Yisrael, bagala uv'izman kari ve'imeru. Amen. Yehi Shmei Rabba mevorach, le'olam le'aumemaya yiparach. Yiparach v'yishtabach v'yipar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal. Shmei t'kedusha richu le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata. Tushbecha v'nechem atadamiram b'yalma ve'imeru. Bottom line. Oseh shalom bin romav, uyaseh shalom aleinu, ve'akol Yisrael, ve'imru, amen. Yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu, ve'akol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu, ve'akol Yisrael, ve'imeru. Amen. Here is your big chance. We have the Kiddush, and everyone should feel very welcome to do the Kiddush. Certainly far better than I. And here is the Kiddush cup. In our home, very sexist. The boys do the Kiddush and the women light the candles. Probably in your generation, it's open policy. Amen.
Yom Tehila Lemikrai Kodesh Zecher L'Tziat Mitzrayim
Ki banu v'achar tavel tanu tashtami kol ha'amim v'shabbat kodesh bi'ava Chaltanu.
Baruch atah Adonai, Mekadesh HaShabbat.
Amen. Thank you. Who would like to do the Aleinu beside me? We will all do the Aleinu. On 56. Ve'ach ladon hakol latei gdula liotzer bereshit shelo asanu k'goyei haratzo ve'lo samanu k'mishpachot adama shelo sam elkeinu kahem ve'gor aleinu kechol hamon ve'anachnu korim u'mishtachavim u'modim לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא שהוא נותן שמיים ויסד הארץ ומושך יקרו בשמיים ממעל שכינתו זו וגובה מרומים הוא אלוהינו אינו דמלכנו בסורתו קראתו בתורתו Datayom Shivota Elovavecha Ki Adonai Elohim Bashamayim Imah Ve'al haaretz mitachat einot 57 Okay, Nekavel Adonai Elohim Red arrow. Kakatu b'toratecha Adonai imloch le'olam va'ed v'ne'emar Haya Adonai le'melech kol ha'aretz bayom ha'u Yeh Adonai echad u'shmo echad. May be seated. Has anybody come to say Mourner's Kaddish this evening? So I feel terrible, but if you would share the name of your loved one. Thank you. Anybody else have somebody that they are? So we are not permitted to say Mourner's Kaddish, but may your heart be consoled for having come here this evening, and may Mr. Friedman rest and be resting in your heart as well. I think there was another page. Well, let's see. We can finish with, page 62 is Yigdal. Anybody beside me know Yigdal? All right. I will consolidate it then, so I think we've had plenty of my voice already. I'll just do the beginning and the end on page 62. Yigdal Elohim chai ve'yishtabach nimtza ve'enet el mitziuto echad ve'en yachid ke'ichuto ne'lam v'gam ein sof le'achduto. I'm going to go to the bottom. Gomel le'ish chesed kemifalo noten l'rasha ra kerishato Yishlach leketz yamin meshichenu liftot mechai keketz yeshuato. Bottom. Meitim yechayel berov chazdo baruch adead shem tehilato. So I don't have any announcements other than to say somebody beside me will be leading somebody far more skilled and competent tomorrow's services, but I don't think it will be the cantor. So if you're trying to meet him, wait till the following weekend.
Kevin Cortez, Laurie Mackey, and Leanne.
Amazing. Thank you. I am going to be at my daughter's shul tomorrow reading Torah for her. And let's see. But I do know that Sunday is Good Deeds Day, and Monday is a very special program. It is Yom HaShoah, which in English is Holocaust Remembrance Day. 2 brownie points for you. And the reason I'm part of that committee is because I'm a second generation. My young and active mother is a survivor, as was my grandma, and that is why I'm here. And that's why I got a Jewish education. And that is the reason I know Hebrew, because,
And the following Monday is Yom HaZikaron.
thank you.
We'll be having
Yes.
recipes.
That was for Yom HaAtzmaut, I saw.
No, that's Yom HaZikaron. Yom HaAtzmaut, we're going to have
Mhm.
Wednesday. Yeah, a block party. We'll have the Brooklyn. We're having falafel, and activities and
Yep.
programs happening. A photo booth, a bunch of fun.
And
activities.
we also actually have a shaliach, which means literally the translation is a messenger, but what the shaliach is an Israeli individual who comes in a live-in residency for 2 years, and he's in Israel too now, of course, for Pesach, but he would be here saying a few words, and he will bring us all kinds of joy and energy. He's your age, and so come and meet him.
Much younger.
I'm 29.
No, he's not much younger,
Oh,
but he's younger.
my youngest daughter is 29. Anywho, I know you don't want to be here longer, but in any event, we have a very lovely shaliach from Israel who comes and brings us all kinds of innovative program too. So come and enjoy him. Thanks for coming, everybody, and I will